What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with another Kim Wilde reaction from her 1982 album Select. Thank you again to Mark for the material. And the next tune in the playlist is View from a Bridge. It has a bit of a poetic sound to it. I suppose the view in question depends on the nature of the bridge. Most bridges, I don't know quantitatively, but many bridges, we'll say, are built to go over a body of water. Now, you can build a bridge over a canyon or a mountainous area, and in those cases I think it's most often to facilitate the passage by train or vehicles. Nevertheless, bridges certainly are associated with vistas, and again, in many cases it could be looking out at the sea or a large river or some body of water, so we get a visual sense here. But the nature of the view from a bridge, I suppose, depends on whether you are traveling, maybe sightseeing specifically. Of course, to take a darker turn, bridges can be places where people throw themselves off of if they are at the end of their rope, let's say, and that type of view from a bridge would certainly be very different, so hopefully the song doesn't turn in that dark of a direction. But yeah, again, my point, I guess, is that the type of view and the context in which one is viewing it would greatly send this song in different directions. So I'll see what I can pick up on a first listen. This is Kim Wilde. The track is View from a Bridge, and it's from her 1982 album Select. fucking love that one. For multiple reasons, I'll try to address the sonics first. So, yeah, it's got that classic dark and energetic 80s track feel. It feels like an 80s synth pop track through and through. Of course, that makes sense. That is what it is. It's from 82. But yeah, it has a very electric sound and also a bit of a dark energy to it. So yeah, number one, I like the sort of ambient opening, like the wind blowing. I'm imagining her standing on a bridge, and there were multiple like echoed or spacious, like volume filled sounds across the course of the tune, apart from the like, the regular aspects, the melody, the bass line, the percussion. And there were also some of these like mechanical sort of sounds, especially there was like an interlude in like the beginning of the second half of the tune, and that was a very compelling like shift. And of course we have like these deeper organ chords, like longer organ chords, but then like a more rapid, dynamic, very electric higher line of organ keyboard. So I enjoyed the sounds at the low end and the high end of the tune. I enjoy Kim's vocals. There's an intensity to them. More on that in a moment when I get to the lyrics. But yeah, it feels like a danceable tune in a darkened sort of discotheque, and there's a lot of energy to it, but on the like more, I don't know if angry is the right word, but it definitely has a bit of an edge to it sonically. And I think that very much does fit with the lyrics in that I think it is primarily about a bridge where someone feels like they can't take any more, they've had enough, they've been made a fool of, and maybe they are jumping off, but more on that in a moment. So yeah, it sounds like the general story is that she was with someone and then she saw that someone kissing another woman in bed with another woman. I think like between the sheets, I think there was a line to that effect. And then it's like when I think he like turned and looked at her and like he saw, what was it, a fire in her eyes? I don't know if I'm remembering that part right, but it sounds like number one, she kind of caught him, but then it was almost like, he didn't rush over like, oh shoot, I'm sorry, this is on me, like, I messed up or whatever. It was like he just kind of like showed his desire with this other woman, and she suddenly felt like, I've been completely made a fool. And I think there was also a line or two about how like she was trying to do things, she was putting her energy and effort into this, and now she feels like a fool because she realizes, she wasn't his interest or priority when it really came down to it, and he had something else cooking, so to speak. So then it sounds like by the end, she is jumping off and she's moving through the air, but she's not sure like what reality is and whether this is a fantasy, because it was like, she's moving through the air, she turns around, but she sees herself up on the bridge, so it's kind of like she's losing her mind a little bit maybe, if I'm hearing those lines correctly. So yeah, it sounds like maybe she was going to jump off this bridge, and that's the view from a bridge, but then it's like she sees herself still up there, so that's kind of the view from a bridge as well. So yeah, let me know if I'm mishearing that, and of course that does happen on these first listens, so maybe I'm missing it, but yeah, it sounds like she's brokenhearted isn't even the right word. She's like incredulous, in disbelief, but also feeling very foolish, and like, this is it. She's had enough. Like she can't deal with any more. But then right at the end, it's almost like, she's kind of lost it a little bit, and she doesn't know, what's real, what's fantasy, like what's even happening. So that's what I took away from it on a first listen. Do let me know how close to or far from thematically I am to the song. Nevertheless, as I said, I love this early 80s darker energy synth dance type of sound, and I feel like her vocals really fit the tone of the rest of the tune sonically and lyrically. So yeah, a cool vocal performance from her as well. Let me know what you think of the track, and I will see you for the next one. Peace.